All right, y'all. So I'm going to try this one more time. The topic of the day, as it stands, because of what it kind of spurred off of from things that I was exposed to today, is again, what true luxury is and what true, trying to go back to my video so I can keep in alignment with it. But basically, I talked about how knowledge of self is what real prestige is. It really is. Um, I came across another video, and this was dealing with MLK, and I've seen a few things about MLK. Haven't had the opportunity to post, but I decided to take the time to try now. The sound was a little bit weird, so this is also an opportunity for me to test the sound. Um, so, a couple days ago, for those of you that don't know, I'm Korean and South Korean and Black. There was a woman that posted on TikTok. She went to a university, I think it's Farmersville University or something like that, some small university. There was a Korean teacher that was there to teach like African American studies and ethics or something like that. And he was talking about Martin Luther King. And then, she's kind of got that ornery or that contrary mindset like I do. Like my mom said, like I would do the opposite. I'll always look at the flip side of the coin. So he was talking about all the accolades and good things that MLK did, but she said, this is an ethics class, so I think it's very important that we talk about the flip side of that too. And he says, oh yeah, we will. And she was expecting him to say, oh yeah, and talk about all the indiscretions and things. But what it boiled down to, and I wish I could find that video again, it's here somewhere, I'm sure, but what it boiled down to her talking about was the professor stated that basically, our morals and our ethics and our values are based on our perceptions, and our perceptions are based on our traditions and what we've been taught. When you look at African American culture, we don't know the traditions and the history. We can't go back to our tribes and things like that because all of that's been erased. They put it really profoundly. If I find it again, I will share it here. But then I saw another video today that kind of hurt my soul. It was about MLK again and how Martin Luther King really died. And I guess the nurse that helped him die, he's close to ending ages. So he's like, I'm going to go on and tell the truth. So what really happened was the person that really shot Martin Luther King was not whoever they said this guy was. It was actually the chief of police for this police department. He shot him. They took him to this hospital and they said, well, if the bullet doesn't kill him, we're going to make sure he dies. And so all the people were coming in to help him. The doctors or whatever that were supervising this thing told them to get out, basically let that N word die. And then the last person that left pulled all the catheters out of him and then smothered him with the pillow. And it was awful the way they told the story. And I could find the video. Should I go back to it? Let me see if I can find it. It's really sad. The way they told the story was that basically they all came and spat on him. They hot spit on him. And that's the way that it happened. So I'm going to tell you this, and it was written on records for so long. He was jailed, he was in prison, he disrupted the peace. Then this other person was accused of this crime that they didn't commit. And you see it happen so many times. So once again, it's so important these days, especially, to honor and value real prestige. Money is not going to get you there. A name brand isn't going to get you there. But knowledge of self is what will definitely get you there. And like I said before in the previous video, but probably nobody got to it because the sound was so bad when I was trying to show the video of what this guy was talking about. The thing is that if you are depending, if your prestige, your integrity, your value, how much you value yourself is based on what somebody else has to say about you or think about you, you have to keep in mind there's a world full of people. And in this world full of people, there are so many variables on what is important to people. There are so many variables and, the goals that these people have. And sometimes the goals that you have for yourself do not match the goals that other people have for themselves. And it's a dog eat dog world. And just because somebody has a title, just because somebody's Caucasian or, thought to be the majority or thought to be, or somebody has tenure, it does not mean that what they do and what they say are necessarily the right things. Is what they do and what they say necessarily the right things to stay where they are? Yes. But is it necessary? Oh, here's what it is, you guys. Let me see if I can get back to the original video. But and I'll see if I can share it with you guys. But it's so important to know yourself, because what if nobody stands? When I look at, I still think about, I forgot his name, Ethan, somebody, the guy that shot up everybody because he couldn't get a girlfriend. It's how they proposed it, but I'm sure it was more than that. But, he was saying, oh, he's smart, he's intelligent, he's well spoken. Why do these girls like these hoodlums and they don't like me? He's wealthy, and all that different type of stuff. And the thing is that you have to learn to value yourself. Because even if I look at me, I look at some of these stories that people have. There was this young boy that he had to be at work at 6. He walked, I don't know how many miles, to get to this job, in the cold, you know, and, how the outcome come. And my thing of it is, all of our outcomes are not going to be the same. You know what I mean? It does not mean that you're a lesser than person or not a good person. All of us have been given, our own paths. We're all interrelated to a certain point, but we all have our own paths. So do not compare your path and where you've been or where you're going to someone else's path. Everyone's path is designed for them. If your path is a little rough or it doesn't yield the same results, that's okay, because the results that you got are the results that were intended for you. And there are lessons and strength building things that are incorporated in each of those. So it's very important that we don't forget that, Um, and like I said, that lady, what she had to say was so important. She said, that lady that was an actress, nobody has to like you. Nobody has to love you. Nobody even has to respect you. But you make sure for yourself that, at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, that you absolutely love and adore what you see, you know. And to me, that is so very important. I don't know why this is looking so weird. It doesn't normally look like this. I think I know why it's a different view. Um, All right. Let's see if I can get to it. It's gonna look a little weird. Okay, but anyways, the purpose is for you to hear it, so it's okay. Um, because I don't feel like adjusting everything. But that's what I want to say. That's where the real value is. The real prestige, the real value is knowing yourself, loving yourself, having goals and values, knowing who you are, and standing by that, 10 toes down, 1,000%, no matter what. You know, and never put all of your eggs in one basket. And that means even looks like, I was talking about, how the lady said, if you look in the mirror, you better like what you see. It ain't even about that, because that can be taken too. But knowing who you are your best asset, and knowing, okay, I'm not adjusting all that. And I feel bad because this is not good quality, but it's okay. Nobody will probably watch it anyways. But it's the message. I want you guys to listen. Um, listen to what this person has to say. And hopefully the sound comes up good. But because this horrified me, I didn't want to listen to it more than once. But here it is. Here we are. And now it doesn't want to play. This is great because I want you guys to hear it. The way that this woman told it. Because to be honest with you, I couldn't listen to it all the way through the first time. I had a hard time listening to it because it was just so awful, awful, terrible. Well, that's fine. It's okay. We don't have to listen to it. But yeah, that's basically what the gist of it was. Was that Martin Luther King died by being murdered by the police. The head of the police department was taken to the hospital, and the doctors were told, if the bullet didn't kill him, you know, they'll finish the job. And they said, okay. And there were people that wanted to help him. This story, I mean, it's just so much. I wish we could hear it. I don't know why it's not playing. I think it's because everything is so slow. I don't know what the deal is. I was just listening to it, no problem before. But if you get a chance, look it up. The Martin Luther King was killed by the doctor, and there was a nurse that co-signed it. But this is just a soundtrack anyway, so